Greetings everyone, my name is Jin Chinchiu and I'm a student of University of Zimbabwe doing public relations and marketing. And with me here are my fellow colleagues.
Hello everyone, I am Tofin Chapskwasa.
Hello everyone, I'm Tadwana Shimamu.
Hi guys, I'm Zekiam Kora.
Hello guys, I'm Naisanzio.
Greetings everyone, I'm Gloria Mbele.
Well, this video aims to preempt and explain the right to access to information that entails, that is in the section 62 of the Constitution, and it will further explain why information is needed for the media and to take its mission, to partake in its mission, and the importance of access to information, why the right may be limited or restricted, and the barriers to access to information. Well, I will start by defining what information is. In general, information is any needed information recorded regardless of its nature, form, source, date of creation, or official status. Access to information, however, is the ability for an individual to access, seek, receive, and impart information effectively. Well, Section 62 of the Constitution recognizes the right to information as an important principle of democracy. The government also enacted other pieces of legislation for purpose of ensuring access to information for every Zimbabwean, namely the Access to Information and Protection of Privacy Act, that is the AIPPA, and the Broadcasting Service Act, which will also be discussed. Next is Kevin, who is going to be discussing how access to information relates to media. Over to you, Kevin.
Thank you. I'm going to present on the access to information, that is section 2 of the Constitution in relation to media law. The media, as it practices its right of access to information, process a lot of personal information when they gather, publish, and leave the news. They have the responsibility to protect this personal information. For example, the media might know information pertaining the education, the financial, or the criminal status of a person. The media might also know information concerning the HIV status of a person. Due to that, the law requires that personal information must not fall into wrong hands and get used to cause harm to the subject. Sometimes personal information is used to get to the bottom of a story, only for the story to be published without the personal information itself being published. For example, on the recent COVID-19 outbreak, the Ministry of Health and Child Care, together with the media, were asking the COVID-19 victims concerning their HIV status or even their employment status, so as to get rid of where the disease may have exactly transmitted from.
I am presenting on the importance of access to information. The right to seek access to information is a fundamental human right guaranteed by Article 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The right to access to information is important because, firstly, it helps to fight corruption. No, you can't question what you don't know. Greater access to information increases the transparency of the policy making and governance. Secondly, it helps to correct misinformation. When citizens can see what information the government holds about them, they can also seek correction at that information if they consider if it's wrong or misleading. I will leave to my colleague.
Okay, let me further on the importance of access, of the right to access to information. The right to access to information also empowers citizens by informing their voting rights, giving them a chance to speak out against injustice, and also ensuring they know their rights. Let me go back a bit to define what is the right to access to information. The right to access to information guarantees everyone the right of access to all information and documents related to the management of public affairs, regardless of the status of the concerned person and the purpose for obtaining the required information. Also, let me go on to further on the importance of the right to access to information. It also helps the citizens to participate in democracy. The more the people being informed, they are able to participate more effectively in their nation's own democratic process. Also, I will further on to another important, which is access other social and economic rights. The right to access to information helps citizens of a nation, let's say Zimbabwe, under Section 62. It helps them to access other rights, such as the right to vote, the right to know, the right to exist. As far back as in 1946, the United Nations described access to information as the cornerstone of all freedom, because you need information to exercise other crucial rights, such as the right to vote, the right to a clean and healthy environment, and the right to make informed choices. Also, the right to information enables citizens to access education and build their capacity. An informed population can better its situation by converting information into knowledge. As we know, knowledge is power. When the citizens know the knowledge, they can ask for accountability to the people who are to the political figures who are directly involved in some public affairs that they need to know, such as the situation on 21 January 2021, the Ministry of Health and Childcare, Information and Publicity and Broadcasting Services were ordered by the High Court to provide the public with information regarding the spread and management of COVID-19 in Zimbabwe that is comprehensive and adequate. The people need to know the situation of the COVID-19 pandemic. Is it still spreading in the country, or the situation or the status of the people, the number of the statistics of people who had died due to the COVID-19 pandemic? And also another case that is on the national debt and foreign loans, which was debated by MP Alan, a member of Parliament, Alan Macron, on the 3rd of January, marked an important deadline for Mutulu and the government of Zimbabwe, the date by which the Ministry of Finance was to have published the details of its foreign loan agreements.
All right, I will be taking you on the limitation to access to information, section 62. The first limitation is national security or sovereignty. There are some information relating to a national security which could cause harm if released to the media or public principles or national security and right to information. Then the second one is national economic interest. Disclosure to information about currents of exchange rates, interest rates, or taxes proposals for expenditure or borrowing could in the same cases to harm the national economy, particularly if released prematurely to the media. Then the last one is relations with foreign states. The relationship between countries can often be sensitive and could damage a country's own international interests. During decision making, there is a level of confidentiality, but once a decision is made, the public has a right to access relevant information so that they can make a better understanding the policy of making access.
Adding on to the barriers of access of information, firstly, I will explain lack of resources and technology as an obstacle to Section 62. This is a really great factor that hinders the right to information access. Many public authorities are not familiar with the modern technological facilities. Some still make use of typewriter in the office since they lack training in using available technology. Lack of computer skills and training is really impedance to accessing information. Okay, I'll move on to the next barrier. This is finance. Accessing information requires finance from federal government in order for the public to get the essential and necessary tools to compute, store, and analyze information. Due to the lack of finance to compile specific information needed by the public, this can make the media to give wrong or insufficient information, thereby tempering the public's fundamental right on accessing information. Lastly, I will explain geography as a barrier to access information. This is another problem against citizens' right to information access, in the sense that people in remote areas like rural areas have limited access to information in most of the public authorities. The cost of transportation and availability of basic amenities such as good roads and availability of basic good roads and hospitals and electricity deter them from moving in seeking the essential information from the public. Thank you.
As much as everyone, including the media, has the right to access to information, it is not an absolute right, but rather a limited right, since information may not be disclosed, which may affect the relationship between the government and local authorities. For example, information revealing the mismanagement and cheating in the government may be concealed. Those who inform the public, particularly the journalist, in a very hostile environment, can arbitrarily be arrested, abducted, or tortured in the exercise of that duty. And whenever authorities feel their reporting has gone against the interest, that is, if they feel like their interests have been gone against. In terms of Section 18 of AIPPA, the Minister of Local Government can refuse to disclose his reasons for appointing certain councillors to local authorities. So the right to access to information is so limited to the media. Conclusively, I can say in a democratic country like Zimbabwe, people should be able to access information, form opinions, and share ideas without interference from the government.